Hey guys. We're going to start on a serious note here, but I promise that I'm going to bring something uplifting at the end. How many of you have seen the movie Baraka? Anyone? There are some scenes in that movie that look a little bit like this. This is women and children, men in Calcutta, India, digging through the trash at a garbage dump to find what they need to survive. And I remember the first time I saw that movie, and I just felt really heartbroken that people are living this way in the world. But I think what we don't always see as clearly is that people are living like this right here in our own communities. And every night outside my window in San Francisco, every single night, I hear people digging through the trash to find cans and food, just like the people in Calcutta. So we'll go into some stats here. Every year, 3.5 million Americans experience homelessness. That's about 1% of the population. And homelessness doesn't look exactly like what we see on the street. About 10 to 15% of the homeless population is chronically homeless, but the large majority look very different. And I'm sure that you, if you live in an urban area, pass by people every day who are homeless and you don't even know it. And maybe they're sleeping in their car or under a bridge, or they've been couch surfing for a long time. If we look beyond that, 46 million Americans are living below the poverty line. Imagine this, that's $23,000 a year for a family of 4. I don't know how people can live on so little. So if you're like me and so many other people, you see this and you want to do something to help, but you don't know how. You walk past someone on the street, they ask you to help them, and you want to do something and you don't know what you should do, what would actually help, what's going to hurt. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about how I found my starting place. I was walking down the street on the way to dinner on a really cold winter night a couple years ago in San Francisco. And it's always cold in San Francisco, but it was so cold that I was wearing gloves, and that rarely happens. And I remember walking past a woman who was sleeping on the sidewalk with just a thin blanket protecting her from the ground. And something about that sight that night, because it was so cold, just really hit me. And I asked myself, why? Why in a society with so much wealth, so much innovation and new technology and incredible problem solving, and such deep compassion? You know, we live in a society of people who really care. Why do we still have people sleeping on the street at night? And I also asked myself, why can I pull my phone out, push a button, and call an Uber or Grubhub some dinner so easily, but I couldn't do something right there in that moment to help that woman? And as I crossed the street that night, crossed Market at Church Street, for those of you familiar with the city, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to do one thing, and I didn't know what that was going to be. But I started brainstorming with a friend named Zach, and I told him about my idea, walking past this woman, what would it look like if you could push a button and do something to help her? And he totally surprised me by saying, Rose, that's a great idea. If you get it set up, I'll build it for you. And Zach's an engineer. And we've done a few side projects together, so I thought, okay, we'll do this, on the side. And I don't think either of us knew what we were getting ourselves into. So last year, Zach and I launched HandUp, which is a crowdfunding website for homeless people and other neighbors in need. It lets you make street and web donations directly to specific people that you want to help, And we make sure that 100% of those funds go toward basics like food, medical care, housing, technology. Yes, technology is a basic need. And this is a shot of our site that's live right now at handup.us. And you can see some of our members who are using our site to fundraise for their needs. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how it works, and then I'm going to show you how it works at the end with a video. But keep in mind one thing. HandUp is a software company. We build technology. We're not a direct service provider. That means we don't go out in the street and sign people up for our site. We build our platform, and we partner with nonprofits who use our technology to serve their clients, like Rodney. This is Rodney. He's a wheelchair dancer, and he was laid off from his dance troupe about a year ago, and he became homeless. And Rodney signed up for HandUp through a service organization called Project Homeless Connect, and he was able to fundraise to get his wheelchair fixed and to get a laptop so he could go online and look for work just like you and I can. This is a shot of Rodney's profile on our site where you can go and read this right now. You can read about his life, his story. You can see a video of him speaking and another video of him dancing. And you can make a donation to him. One of the biggest requests we had from our site, from our donors, was our donors said, we love helping people directly, but we want to do more than that. We want to send them words of support. We want to communicate with them. And at the same time, the members who were benefiting from our site were saying, who's donating to me? Why are they donating to me? And most importantly, how can I thank them? And so now, when you donate to Rodney through our site, you can also send him words of support that he can write back to, whether it's from his phone. Most homeless people do have at least basic phones, through email or through his case manager. So you're going to hear a little bit more from Rodney in a minute. But first, really quick, it's clear that HandUp helps bring new resources, but when it comes to social impact, people don't always see that we also connect the individuals to their case managers by building an engaging platform, and that's something that's very needed in this work. And we also help build a safety net. So one thing we found was our members were not only fundraising from the public, but they were fundraising from friends and family, some of whom they hadn't spoken to in years. So HandUp is expanding. We just closed our seed round, and now we're moving out of San Francisco and signed up some organizations in Oregon and Detroit. And that's really the power of building scalable technology, is you build it, and then you can replicate it very easily. So I'd like to invite you guys to join us in doing something about the problem of poverty here in our cities by visiting our site at handup.us and giving somebody a hand. So now we're gonna take a look at Rodney's video, and you can hear it in his own words. I think this short video is gonna be much more powerful than anything I can say. So I don't know if the guys in the back can hear me.
I became paralyzed in a motorbike accident as a young adult. Through that journey of obtaining a new body, I found sports. I was dancing for an internationally renowned dance troupe here in the Bay Area. And last year, I was laid off from the dance company and I ended up homeless. So I went from 5 backpacks to 4 backpacks to 1 backpack, because it helped me not only letting go of things I own, my possessions, but just letting go of emotions and regrets that I had. When I was homeless, I went to Pier 1 and Pier 7, lied on the benches down there, and I could tell you this beautiful sights in the morning. The fog would come in and these seagulls would come down through the fog like these angels coming down. And I used to have the seagull come visit me down there with one leg, and I named it Ocean, or Moana in my language. I used to see ocean every morning. That was the time of really crucial healing for me. I was around people that have been on the street for a long time, most of their lives. They're people who lost their families, you know. So there's a real deep humbleness that come with that. Recently, I've found myself in a really beautiful place, and 90% of that the reason is because of HandUp. They gave me this huge opportunity to get back up on my wheels, I should say. This is the great thing about HandUp. You get this opportunity to reach out to friends, to do a short video and get a profile. It's very professional, be able to look at this website, boom, okay, I believe. And then I accumulated funds to get a laptop within a couple of weeks so that I could find employment in dance. They not only supported me financially, but a lot of them supported me emotionally as well. They've sort of opened me up as a person again, because I feel like people care, you know? I hope to inspire and uplift our community of disabled young youth, because we all can dance, and it's just having that little lift up, or that hand up, I should say.
Thanks so much, guys. Check out our site, and I hope to hear from you in the future. Bye.